Hey, this is अभिजीत. वेलकम टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल इंग्लिश मेड इजी. सो आज की वीडियो में हम लोग बात करेंगे अबाउट सम ऑफ द मोस्ट कंफ्यूजिंग वर्ड्स. अब ये कंफ्यूजिंग क्यों है? बिकॉज दे ऑलमोस्ट हैव द सेम मीनिंग. सो लेट्स बिगिन द वीडियो. लेट्स स्टार्ट द वीडियो. सो दीज आर सम ऑफ द वर्ड्स दैट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट. वी हैव अलोन, लोनली, लोन, loner and aloof. So if we look at these words, more or less they have same meaning. ठीक है, but there are some differences in meaning. Like we cannot use them interchangeably. Some of the words are used with nouns or maybe before nouns, whereas some of the words are used without nouns or maybe after be verb. So let's see. We'll begin with the word alone. तो अलोन जो वर्ड है इट कैन बी यूज्ड एज बोथ एडजेक्टिव एंड एडवर्ब. ये दोनों हो सकता है आपका. एक एडजेक्टिव भी हो सकता है और एक एडवर्ब भी हो सकता है. बट बीइंग एन एडजेक्टिव यू कैन नॉट यूज इट जस्ट बिफोर नाउन. आप इसे नाउन के ठीक पहले यूज नहीं कर सकते. आई कैन नॉट से आई सॉ एन अलोन पर्सन. दिस इज नॉट करेक्ट. सो अलोन इज अ वर्ड जिसका मतलब होता है अकेला. whenever we ask how many people are there or how many students are there, so whenever we want to talk about number, so to represent that we are talking about only one person, one student or maybe one anything, we use alone, and this is most of the time used after be verb. So I can say she is alone. सी इज अलोन का मतलब है सी इज नॉट विद एनीबडी. सी इज ऑन हर ओन और बाय हरसेल्फ. ठीक है. सो वेन एवर वी टॉक अबाउट नंबर्स, वेन एवर वी आस्क हाउ मेनी पीपल और हाउ मेनी गर्ल्स स्टूडेंट्स आर देयर, वी कैन यूज अलोन टू टॉक अबाउट नंबर्स. सो इफ आई से सी इज अलोन, इट मीन्स सी इज नॉट विद एनीबडी. सो आई कैन यूज इट आफ्टर बी वर्ब. और इस सेंटेंस में वी आर यूजिंग अलोन एज सब्जेक्ट कॉम्प्लीमेंट. बिकॉज जब भी आप यूज करते हैं आफ्टर बी वर्ब, वेन एवर यू यूज अ नाउन और मे बी एन एडजेक्टिव आफ्टर बी वर्ब, इट इज ऑलवेज अ सब्जेक्ट कॉम्प्लीमेंट. ठीक है. एक और देखिए, ही डिड इट अलोन. सो यहां पर वी आर यूजिंग एट द एंड पोजिशन, लास्ट में यूज कर रहे हैं. तो यहां पे वी आर यूजिंग दिस वर्ड एज एन एडवर्ब, बिकॉज वी कैन आस्क how one or how some person did something. So we are saying he did it alone means without anybody's help, on her own, on his own. ठीक है. तो यहां पे हम लोग उसे कैसे यूज कर रहे हैं? एज एन एडवर्ब. लेट्स सी अनदर एग्जांपल in which we will use as an adverb. She lives alone in this house. So यहां पे हम लोग alone को यूज कर रहे हैं to describe our verb. The verb is lives. How does she live? She lives alone. So alone is a word that we can use as an adjective or maybe as an adverb. ठीक है. It can describe your verb. जैसे यहाँ पे थर्ड सेंटेंस में she lives alone. यहाँ पे alone को हम लोग यूज कर रहे हैं to describe a verb. Whereas in first and second sentence, I mean in first sentence, we are using it to describe a pronoun. So the word alone can be used as both adjective and adverb. You cannot use it to express your feelings. Like if you want to say I'm feeling alone, you cannot say this way. If I say he is feeling alone, तो ये आपका सेंटेंस गलत होगा. Because alone only talks about, it only relates to number. Alone only relates to number. You cannot talk or you cannot use alone to talk about how someone is feeling. If you talk about feelings, we use lonely. So he is feeling lonely is correct. Lonely means somebody who is not alone by choice. Somebody who is feeling sad or somebody who is maybe sad and unhappy. Like here, this is the second word, lonely. So lonely जो है, it is also an adjective. We use this word as an adjective. Means sad and unhappy. Or we can say somebody who is not alone by choice. Somebody who is a kind of alone because he is not getting anyone to get along with, or maybe he doesn't have any friends. तो इस वर्ड को हम लोग कैसे यूज करेंगे? टू टॉक अबाउट फीलिंग्स. शी इज वेरी लोनली. सो शी इज वेरी लोनली के अंदर इसका मीनिंग क्या है? इट मीन्स शी हैज नो बडी टू टॉक टू, और मे बी शी डज नॉट हैव एनी फ्रेंड्स विद whom she could hang out. तो यहाँ पे जो लोनली आपने यूज करा है, we are using this as an adjective, but it talks about your feelings and not about the numbers. So यहाँ पे if you talk about how somebody feels, you say lonely. ठीक है, I can say I feel or I do not feel lonely. अब यहाँ पे मैं alone का यूज नहीं कर सकता. If I say I feel alone, so this is incorrect. If I say I'm feeling, I would rather say I am feeling lonely. So whenever you talk about feelings, lonely relates to how someone feels. तो lonely का आप यूज कब करेंगे? When you talk about your feelings, and it is also it is an adjective as well. इसके अलावा except with people, we can also use this word with places when we want to refer to that the place is maybe isolated. So we can say he lives in a lonely house. So when we say he lives in a lonely house, what does it mean? It means the house is isolated, or maybe nobody is going to live, or currently nobody is living in their house. Is that clear? Now we'll talk about loan. So loan is also an adjective. Loan is an adjective and we use loan just before noun. जब भी आप लोन को यूज करते हैं, you use it just before noun to tell someone that he is a kind of person who likes being alone, or maybe he lives alone, he is used to living alone. You must have heard the phrase a lone wolf. Lone wolf means someone who likes being alone. So lone is also an adjective and we use it always just before a noun. We cannot use it after noun. अगर मैं कहता हूँ he is lone, it would be incorrect. I cannot say he is lone. Rather, I would say he is alone. तो अगर आपको lone use करना है, you must use it just before noun. Someone who likes being alone, you can say I bump into. This must be in past. Bump into. Bump into is a phrasal verb. It means to meet someone by chance. So I bump into a lone jogger in the park. Lone jogger means somebody who was alone, or maybe he is alone by choice. So in this situation we can use the word lone. And now we will talk about loner. So loner also more or less has the same meaning. Loner means someone who likes being alone, or maybe he is alone, but this is not an adjective or an adverb. This is a noun. So whenever we use loner, we use it as a noun. I can say he's a loner. Loner means a person who is alone. Maybe he is alone because of his circumstances, or maybe because he could not find anyone to get along with. So loner is a noun. We can use loner as subject of a sentence, and it can also be object in a sentence. So in this sentence we are using the word loner as a subject complement. As I told you, after be verb we always have subject complement because it complements your subject. It gives or adds meaning to your subject. So loner refers back to the subject. Who is the loner? He is a loner. So after be verb we always has, or maybe we always have subject complement. Now we'll talk about aloof. Aloof is also an adjective. It means detached. Somebody who is alone by choice. He likes to be alone, or maybe he doesn't like to socialize with people. So जैसे मैंने लिखा भी है, someone who willingly keep from people. Keep from people means to stay away from people. Keep from is a phrasal verb. Keep from means to stay away from something or someone. Who does not like to socialize? Somebody who is not interested in socializing with people. And for such a person we can use the word aloof, and it is also used after be verb. We can say he is aloof. If I say he is aloof means he is a kind of person who doesn't like socialize with people, or maybe he is alone by choice. So this is how we use the word aloof. Aloof is also used as an adjective. Let's look at the sentence. There is a sentence to give you a better sense of understanding what we are talking about. So यहाँ पे मैंने लिखा है she lives alone. She lives alone. So we are saying, we are talking about how many members are there living in that particular place or maybe in that particular house. So she lives alone, and I'm using after, or maybe we are not using just before noun. We are using to describe our pronoun. This is our pronoun. She lives alone, but does not feel lonely. Now I'm using the word lonely. So lonely is also an adjective, but lonely is being used to describe that she is a kind of person who is not maybe sad or unhappy, or maybe she uh, doesn't feel that way, that she is maybe sad or there's nobody to talk to her. So feels she does not feel lonely, as she is a loner. Now in this sentence we are using the word loner, that is a noun, because she doesn't feel lonely. Why? Because she's a loner. Loner means she likes to being alone, she likes being alone, she likes to stay alone by choice. Who likes being alone? So again I will read out the sentence. She lives alone but does not feel lonely. Lonely talks about your feelings. As she is a loner, we are describing this person who likes being alone, because she likes being alone. ठीक है, तो इस तरह से हम लोग ये वर्ड्स यूज करते हैं इन sentences. If you are talking to some person, or maybe if you are writing something, you must be very clear about the meaning of these words and the difference that these words have. So again I will repeat one more time. Alone we cannot use before noun, though it's an adjective, but it is always used after be verb. On the other hand, lonely talks about your feelings. You can use lonely just before a noun, ठीक है? And you can also use it, I mean, to describe a place. When you want to say that a certain place is isolated place, you can use the word lonely. Now, lone is also an adjective, but it is used just before noun. And lone means somebody who maybe is alone by choice. Then loner is a noun. The biggest difference between alone, lonely, lone, and alone is that these are all adjectives. We use them as adjectives. On the other hand, loner is a noun. Whenever we use the word loner, it is always used as noun. And the last one is aloof. Aloof is also an adjective, and it means somebody who willingly keep from people, who does not like to socialize with people. And it is also used after be verb to tell people that you are talking about a person who maybe is not lonely, but he doesn't like to socialize with people and he is happy by himself. So these are the differences. And don't forget to like the video, and if you want such interesting lessons in the coming days, please subscribe my channel and comment that which word you would like to make sentence with. So thank you so much for watching the video.